Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. I'm Lynelle Ellis, your host and the president of Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association, and I'm so glad that you've tuned in for our show today. My guest is going to be Pam Cress, the Associate Vice President for Graduate Studies at Walla Walla University, and I'm looking forward to my conversation with her. And I have some things to share with you in the station news segment as well, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And let's begin with our devotional thought. Have you heard about God's upside-down kingdom? Apparently, His design for His kingdom is different from the way we humans think of kingdoms on this earth. When Jesus came to earth in person to show us what God is like and to show us what His kingdom is like, He said some rather upside-down things. When Jesus talked with people about John the Baptist, for instance, He was very complimentary, but He said something kind of surprising. Here's what He said. After John's messengers left, Jesus began to speak to the crowd about John. What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed swayed by the wind? If not, what did you go out to see? A man dressed in fine clothes? No, those who wear expensive clothes and indulge in luxury are in palaces. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is the one about whom it is written, I will send my messenger ahead of you who will prepare your way before you. I tell you, among those born of women, there is no one greater than John. Yet, the one who is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he. And that's from Luke 7:24 through 28. The one who is least in the kingdom is greater than the greatest prophet? What? This isn't the only time that Jesus says something along these lines. In fact, He says it straight out in Matthew 20:16. So the last will be first, and the first will be last. What about the time that James and John came to Jesus and asked for a place in a special position? They wanted to be placed at the right hand and at the left hand of Jesus in His kingdom. Well, what did Jesus say to that? Here's what He said. Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to Him. Teacher, they said, we want you to do for us whatever we ask. What do you want me to do for you? He asked. They replied, let one of us sit on your right and the other at your left in your glory. You don't know what you're asking, Jesus said. Can you drink the cup I drink? Or be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you will drink the cup I drink and be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with, but to sit at my right hand or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared. When the 10 heard about this, they became indignant with James and John. Jesus called them together and said, you know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave of all. For even as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give His life as a ransom for many. It's from Mark 10:35 through 45. Yes, God has an upside-down kingdom where the last will be first. It isn't about gaining power or recognition or even a special position. It's about serving humbly, loving others before yourself. It's about becoming like Jesus, servant of all, although He is the Prince of Heaven. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now is Pam Cress, the Associate Vice President for Graduate Studies at Walla Walla University. And Pam, it's really good to have you here.
Thank you, Lynelle. It's good to be here.
Graduate programs are exciting for a university to be able to have them, and Walla Walla has several. How are things going for the graduate programs during this era at Walla Walla University?
It's a good question. Actually, our graduate programs are quite strong. They're doing well. Our enrollment seems to be steady and holding as in past enrollment. So we've been excited about that.
That's good, because we have been going through some challenging times with the pandemic.
Yes.
And even prior to the pandemic, we've seen some enrollment drops in universities in general. So seeing graduate programs strong is good.
So our undergraduate enrollment has dropped a little, and but our graduates have remained strong, and we hope that trend continues.
Mm-hmm. So what programs does Walla Walla University offer?
Well, we have 4 departments right now who offer graduate programs. One of those is communications, one in which you teach, and that's our Cinema, Religion, and Worldview Masters, and we're excited about that media program. And then education department, they have several masters. They do a master's in education. I think there's one in initial teaching, and then they have a master's in arts and teaching. Then social work is our big program with regards to graduate education, and social work has a master's in social work, and they also just this past year started a doctorate in social work, of which we are just now signing up our second cohort, and there are 10 students in that second cohort, so we're excited about that. And then our last program campus, which has been here for quite a while, has been our biology program. There is a master's in biology program on campus, and those students, there's usually 8 to 10 students in that particular program.
So we have a really kind of a wide variety of master's programs, and you then end up being responsible for areas that I'm sure some of them aren't as familiar to you as, for instance, social work. What's it like being sort of dean over such a wide variety? Right,
that's a good question. My background isn't social work, so I came out of the master's program. I was dean of the School of Social Work and Sociology for a number of years. And it has been fun to kind of get into the other disciplines and not just what I'm familiar with. So it takes me places like here, studios.
To be interviewed
about other things. So yeah.
Yes. So I know that we have students coming from all different places, some of them really from far away in some of our programs. What are some of the things that make graduate programs really different from undergraduate study at a university?
I think the biggest difference is accessibility, and the difference. Most of our programs are online, with the exception of our biology program. And Master of Social Work also does some online, but they do 1 day a week programming, which makes it easier for the adult learner to access that education. And I think that's the biggest difference. You don't show up to campus 5 days a week with a schedule. You really are maybe coming 1 day, or you're accessing your classes online in an asynchronous environment and kind of getting things done as life allows you sometimes.
Yes, because often those coming for their master's degree already have been out working for some time.
Right. Our average age tends to be about 36. Mm-hmm. And so they already are into life, often have young children and families, and there's a lot of other things that are happening, work, all kinds of things, and trying to do school on top of that.
So you mentioned something about coming 1 day a week. We have social work comes Mondays.
Yes, it is our social work program, and they come on Mondays. During COVID, they've all gone online, so nobody's been coming on Mondays, but they traditionally have done a Monday access only. We offer that program in 3 different sites, by the way. We offer it here in College Place. We also have a program in Billings, Montana, and one in Missoula, Montana. So the state of Montana has our masters there as well. And each of those programs come in on a Monday. Students stay there all day, and then they go home, they do work, they do their practice for the program, and then they come back again the next Monday.
Well, Montana's a fantastic place, but how did we come to choose that as second site and third site?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Many probably of your viewers might remember Wilma Hepker. She was dean of the School of Social Work and Sociology for 30 years, and I think basically it was her vision. We had a faculty member who came to her one time and said, we have 2 students that are commuting all the way from Helena Montana.
Every Monday?
Every Monday they would come. It was like an 8-hour trip back and forth. If they're coming all the way from Helena, I think we ought to explore whether we should put our master's program over there, because there was no master in social work program in the state of Montana. And so after initial assessment, that's what happened. Long story short, we ended up with a program that started in Missoula, and then in 2001 we added the Billings program. And between those two programs, we have about 100 students, 80 to 100 students every year.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is.
Large numbers.
Yeah.
In those communities. So there certainly was a need there.
Yes, there was. Since that time, the University of Montana has started their own master's in social work program.
They saw a good thing, thought they might do that too.
We tend to compete well, even in that environment. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. So students that are coming to campus here in a master's degree, like social work, they're coming from how far away to come to the College Place campus?
Yeah, it would depend, and most of the students on the Monday, especially with that graduate social work program, they might come as far away still now from Portland or Seattle, and they'll come in once a week. Some people choose to relocate. We had somebody from back east who just relocated here and then would come in and do the program on Monday. So. And you may see that as well in your cinema program. And then our Doctor of Social Work, they have the residency in the summer, so we'll see people from all over the United States and outside of the country who come for those
So
intensives.
yeah, the doctorate in social work then and the cinema, religion, and worldview are similar in that they have summer intensives.
Right, they're online, and then they'll have summer intensives, and students come here for maybe a week, 10 days to do some of those things. Yeah, and it does make a difference. They come from all over, and it's a great way to check in with your program, but then you kind of go back to wherever you live and
you can
do
keep
the
on
program.
with whatever responsibilities you have there, including a job, and you don't have to move your whole family or whatever. But that is really a great aspect of some of our graduate programs, is that students can study from wherever they are and still be a part of our program.
To do that. Our Master's in Education programs used to be set up that it was only summer only, and we are now doing exactly what you're talking about. They can pick up a class anytime during the year. We have a lot of our North Pacific Union Conference teachers who will come in and do classes in the summer or during the year as well.
So we still have a pretty strong program in education then in the summer as far as residency here?
No, actually no.
They're
that
doing
has
that
changed.
online too.
That's changed. There's a lot more online presence with those students as well. Again, it's the same reasons. They have a family, they have work, they have other obligations. They would rather be doing that than sitting here on campus studying. So.
And then biology is a little bit different. They're coming for some, and they do some really specific things while they're here to help the university as well.
That's exactly right. Our biology students are on campus, but they also help us with our teaching. So they will take a lot of the undergraduate biology courses and labs for us, and that's very helpful. So they're expected to be on campus, and they get a stipend for their help, and we really appreciate their contribution to our undergraduate program.
You've been talking a lot about how graduate programs are flexible with people's lives, with online and that sort of thing. I think that kind of helps explain maybe why the numbers have stayed up during times when everything has gone more online. So, what's going on during the pandemic with graduate programs?
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of that. It is because it's about access, but we often see when the economy dips or people are out of work, they will go back to school. And that's what you see. Graduate programs tend to stay stronger because of that. People are coming back to retrain and retool, and we're always having to think new ways of what is it they need? How do we get that to them? And we're getting, more and more requests for, do you have things like a certificate that would allow me to just get some just-in-time training? And so those are some of the things we're beginning to explore, as well as this whole thing of online, which has actually worked pretty well. And teachers will tell you, education experts will tell you that we know that people learn in that environment. So you don't necessarily have to be in a classroom to learn it.
Yes, and we've also found that being able to connect even for short periods of time, like at these intensives, benefits students in that they get to know each other, they feel like they're part of the class, they're part of the cohort or the group, and then they do really well studying apart. They already know each other.
They know each other well, and they feel comfortable when they're in the groups online discussing. They know who they're talking to, etc.
Yes, really helps.
It's a good point.
So how do people apply for these graduate programs, and do we have openings? Is everything filled up for next year?
No, we do have openings. I think all programs except for the Doctor Social Work program, that one is already closed. They have their cohort, but all our other graduate programs do have openings, and you would just go to the Walla Walla University graduate studies site to find application, and it'll tell you very specifically for each program they're interested in exactly what you have to do for that application process.
Okay,
So,
very good.
yeah.
Well, Pam, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing with us
you.
for a few minutes about graduate programs.
I appreciate being here.
And thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with Station News. Welcome back. It's time now for Station News. We have a new program on Blue Mountain Television that I want to let you know about so that you can tune in and check it out. This program is called Living Free, and it's going to premiere on the station on Sunday, May 2 at 9 p.m. Here's a description of the show. Vicki Griffin, a veteran health lecturer, brings her cutting-edge presentations to TV in this life-changing program that addresses smoking addiction, along with other addictive behavior, all at its root. It combines educational, inspirational, and motivational elements along with an aggressive lifestyle approach to detoxifying, rebuilding, and sustaining recovery from addiction. The key elements of each segment are vital to anyone seeking improved mental, physical, or spiritual health. The inspiration, practical lifestyle instruction, and motivational elements will capture a wide audience, not just those who are suffering from nicotine addiction. So that's Living Free. You can see, yes, it's about recovering from a smoking addiction, but it's so much more here in this program that would benefit all of us in helping us with whatever addictive behaviors we might find going on in our lives. So Living Free, hosted by Vicki Griffin, is going to be airing starting May 2, as I said, at 9 p.m. And here's one other time that it will also air, Wednesdays at 6:30 on Blue Mountain Television. So Sundays at 9 and Wednesdays at 6:30. So I'm looking forward to that show. I hope that you'll tune in and check it out. Also, I wanted to remind you that we have a gift catalog. We've been talking about this a little bit off and on this show, and of course at our partnership weekend we were referring to it. But this is Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association's gift catalog, and it focuses primarily on gifts that we are needing at the station in order to help us move into our new facility on Wallula Road. So there are items in here that you can help sponsor, that you can purchase on behalf of the station. A green screen, a lighting grid, a teleprompter, camera equipment, items for the control room like an audio mixer board, a switcher, TV monitors, and computers for graphics. We've also got some construction items that you can help with. The generator, access doors and concrete ramps, lighting fixtures, heating and air conditioning unit, landscaping, and then some other things that we need for the technical support side, like hard drives and software licenses and electrical wiring. And then right at the back, if you aren't interested in helping the station by purchasing something from this gift catalog for the new facility, you might just be interested in helping us stay on the air day by day. We talk here about how 1 hour of broadcasting costs $30. And so that would mean that a day of broadcasting is $720, or a week of broadcasting, $5,040. So you can choose something for supporting the daily operation of Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association as well. So I would highly recommend that you request one of these gift catalogs. We did send some out in the mail to those who were already on our contact list, so you may have received one and have already been looking through it. And I was just talking with my dad the other day, who actually lives over in the Seattle area, but who got one of these in the mail because of a previous gift. And he told me very excitedly that he and my mom have looked at a couple of items in this gift catalog, and they're trying to decide which one of them they're going to contribute toward for the move over to the new facility. So I was, of course, really happy to hear that. And I'm sure you're looking through your gift catalog as well. And if you don't have one, you can request one. Call us at the station at 509-529-9149 and just let us know you'd like to receive one of these gift catalogs in the mail, and we'll get your address, send it right out to you so that you can look through it and see the very practical needs that we have for our move to the new facility. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for all of your support for Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association. It's a viewer-supported ministry, and your prayers, your gifts, literally bring good news to so many people here in our community. Thank you. And thank you for watching today. I'll see you next time.